Well, welcome again. It's week 4 of Connect Groups, Ephesians chapter 4. It's pretty easy to keep track of the weeks at this point. 1, 2, 3. Now it's week 4, Ephesians chapter 4. And this is the point. We switch gears right now, right in this chapter in the book of Ephesians. So before in the last 3 chapters we've been studying, Paul has been marveling at the work of the cross and what it means for us and why it's so amazing. And we read over and over again in the first 3 chapters of Ephesians, the grace of Christ, the grace of Christ. And now we switch gears and we talk about what it means and what it means for us day in and day out in our lives as Christians. Ephesians chapter 4 verse 4 says this: "There is one body and one spirit, just as you were called to the one hope that belongs to your call. One Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God and Father of all, who is over all and through all and in all." So Tom, it seems like Paul's saying one of the things that it means to have the cross be a part of our lives is that there is unity. Why is unity so important?
And there are a lot of ones there. And the previous verse 3, talks about unity as well and leading into that. And I think it just reminds us how important unity is. Mm-hmm. We take it for granted when we have it. But really, you can't accomplish much without unity. Mm-hmm. If we don't have unity, then that's where all of our energy goes as a church, is to get healthy, to mm-hmm. be healthy. And so it's hard to think externally. It's hard to think outwardly when you're worried about being healthy and getting healthy. Mm-hmm. So unity is vital. Mm-hmm. And I always think about the challenge of unity is when you're prosperous. So we're doing well as a church, and the economy is doing well around us, and so we don't have those kind of external challenges that sometimes promote unity. Yeah. And so we have to be conscious of our unity. If the political climate is very divided right now. Mm-hmm. But if we were attacked by another country, all of a sudden it wouldn't matter if you were Republican or Democrat. Mm-hmm. We would be That's Americans. Right. Yep. And we would be fighting that outside force that's against us. And if we were attacked by aliens, then it wouldn't matter if you were a Russian or an American. Mm-hmm. We'd be defending our planet. And so a lot of times it has to do with where your adversity is coming from. Mm-hmm. And if there is no outside adversity, then a lot of times the adversity will begin to come from within. Yeah, so we have to work hard to be healthy, mm-hmm. to love each other. A lot about love in these mm-hmm. chapters. And so we have to remember that we need to love each other. Yeah. We're all different. We have to bear one another, forgive one another. And if we do those things, we understand that our real purpose is to win the lost. Mm-hmm. Then we'll have unity.
So verse 27 says, give no opportunity to the devil. So what do you think it means to not give place to the devil?
Well, that's a great question, and I think it's very important that we don't give place to the devil. In that same passage, it talks about anger, not being angry, not letting the sun go down on your anger. That would be one way of giving place to the devil. And another place in the Bible, it talks about not making provision for the flesh. And so I think we just have to be careful that we don't let the enemy get strongholds in our life. Mm-hmm. We don't want to allow things into our life that are compromises, that maybe seem small at first, but can grow into something more mm-hmm. significant. So I think it's just a matter of being conscious of where we are with God, not giving strongholds to the devil, mm-hmm. and making sure that we're kind of keeping that list of offenses with God mm-hmm. short. It's easy to drift a little bit. We want to stay on top of that stuff. We want to be right in our relationship with God. Mm-hmm. We kind of celebrate that at communion every mm-hmm. month. That's a good opportunity to examine yourself, and we need to do that even more often than that. No. Don't give the devil a stronghold in your life. He's never satisfied with what he has. He always wants more. No. And we don't want to give him
That's right.
anything.
That's right. One of the things that I think about this when it says, don't give opportunity to the devil, the verses that follow, let no thief steal no longer, but let him do an honest day's work or an honest work. And think about that. Think about the context of that not only do we say don't steal, but it says let him do an honest day's work. And you hear the ism, if you give a man a piece of bread, you'll feed him for a day. If you teach him how to fish, you'll feed him for a lifetime, if he's patient enough. And I think for us as a community of Christ, like to not give the devil a stronghold is sometimes we have to be the people who are teaching and giving opportunity for the thief to have an honest day's work. Or the person who has corrupt coming out of their mouth, their speech, that we're building them up to speak wholesomely, and so that we're part of that process of not allowing the devil to have a foothold in places in our community as well. So some food for thought for this week. So anyway, have a great time, enjoy yourselves, and we'll talk to you next week.